what it means.
Juice Talk TV, what it do? Back with another one. We have a very, very special guest in the building, the one and only Riviera Rose. Correct?
That is correct.
How you
Greatest
doing?
blessings.
How you doing, Riviera?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. We've been trying to, get you in the studio for like the last a couple of months now.
Yes.
Back and forth, exchanging, messages and stuff like that.
Yes.
So, but you're finally here. So it's only right to get your flowers, up close and personal, from us to you. For the people who haven't seen you on this platform, because I'm pretty sure you've been doing some work in the community and doing things around the city. But for the people who haven't seen you on this platform in particular, just let them know who Riviera Rose is.
Well, first and foremost, I am a mother before anything to a beautiful little boy. I'm a mental health advocate. That's the work that I specialize in, with bringing more awareness to mental health in our community.
Okay. And with that being said, how long have you been in this type of field, I should say?
Oh, for a long time. I will say since my freshman year in college. So I would say 2015.
Okay. So, and you're born and raised here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, correct? Or?
No, I am
okay.
a Rockford, Illinois.
Whoa, okay.
Not Chicago.
Right. Let's clarify that.
Yeah, they always like, oh, suburbs of Chicago. No, I am a Rockford native, Illinois.
Okay, and so just briefly, let's just tap into your childhood and stuff like that. Like, how was it for you growing up out there in Rockford? I've been to Rockford a few times.
Oh my goodness, Rockford! Everybody knows everybody. That's how small Rockford is. The back history of my childhood, it wasn't good. My mother was a young mother. She had me at the age of 15. Her and my father been together ever since. He was 18. I know a lot of people frown upon, the age difference. In our home, father in and out of jail, struggling with his own trauma. My mother struggling with her own trauma. She's a victim of rape, so she was struggling with that she didn't even know she was dealing with that type of trauma. Basically is whatever goes in our house, stay in our house, that type of atmosphere. Father and mother it was a domestic violence situation where he did not know how to control his emotions and his anger, and especially being incarcerated at a young age and dealing with that, and never really got help to how to transition from that type of lifestyle, from being a gang member to how do I become that strong family man, and leaving behind my trauma and all the trauma bonds that him and her had. So growing up in that type of an environment, besides that, I will say I was loved by both parents. My father taught me, how to truly love myself and look in the mirror and say, you are beautiful. He bought me flowers, took me on dates, and showed me how a man's supposed to love me. My mother taught me how a woman's supposed to dress, how, smell good and do this, put on makeup. No matter what you're going through, keep looking your best and keep smiling, never let nobody know what you're going through in the back end and stuff. I had siblings, but that domestic relationship that they had, I did not know until I got older that it was going to affect me later on in life.
Okay, and we're going to tap into that. So what about schooling? Did you attend school out there? How was it?
Yes, I went to school out there from all the way to little to all the way to high school. And then I left and went off to college, came back after I finished college in an internship program with Walt Disney. And then when I came back, I went back to school for psychology, stayed in Rockford. I was like, Rockford's not really for me anymore. So came up here to Milwaukee, got accepted to a lot of colleges, chose Milwaukee because it wasn't that far from my siblings, and been up here ever since then. Now I'm at UWM. I'm finishing my counseling degree and working towards my PhD in psychology.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
How's that road for you?
Oh my God. To go back to school and really do focus on this, I love it. I love understanding why we do what we do, who we are as people. I love the classes that they offer me, especially this one class about Black reality, learning about our ancestors and slavery and what make us who we are and how media spins certain situation and stuff like that, and being more woke to a lot of things that growing up in Rockford I wasn't really shown. You know, personally, I have a godmother that's white. My son's biracial.
Wow.
So to me, I'm like, oh, we all love each other, you know, because my family, we're Native American, and then, you know, we have white or Caucasian, and then we also have Puerto Ricans, so we're like all diverse. So I seen that type of love, but I never really experienced the whole racism and seeing that, you know, people do look at you as your color till I came up here to Milwaukee.
So when you came here, when you migrated here, you experienced that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Briefly, if I can ask, what kind of things did you endure?
One thing that I have endured is when I had my son. And when I had my son, I'll never forget how the nurses, how they act towards him. He was very light-skinned. They say he looked white. That the only reason how they used to ask, like, are you mixed? Is his father white? And one of the nurses like, oh, we could tell he's black because the color, his tip of his thing down there. Yeah. So they was like, oh, so we know he has black descent in him, but he's looked very white. And after having him being around his father's family members, I'm not going to mention no names because I do love and respect them. I'll never forget the comment that one of his great aunts said, and they have German background, and we know, people from German, how it is. I will never forget what she said. She's like, I'm so happy he came out looking this way than looking dark. And that I was like, what? Really? Wow. So if he looked my skin color, you wouldn't love him? You know, and it always questioned me, like, questions I had is, just because he's super white and you could tell he's mixed, but since you can't really tell because he never got dark, is that the reason why you guys accept him more? You cling to him so much more that it seemed like they were more comfortable due to his skin tone being so white, like not even, you know how we got some of us were red bone, you can still see the yellow.
Correct.
But he was so white.
No melanin.
No melanin in him at all, that he was whiter than his father. His father always make jokes like, he's whiter than me. That, you know, they were more comfortable with him. It was like he was more accepting. They were not afraid to be with him in the store by themselves because what he looks like. You know, till his hair started getting curly and stuff, but they still accept him and love him for who he is. But it was just like, okay.
And at that moment, is that when you was like, okay, this was my first bit of taste of racism? Yes.
Because I always thought like, okay, people, you know, they see what color you are, but I always believe we should always judge people off our character, who we are and how we treat people.
Correct.
Because that's how I was raised. And the people in my family, especially my godmother, her father is the judge, her mother's the teacher, they're white. They never treated me any different. You know, I'm not high yellow at all. You know, I'm peanut butter type of skin, caramel skin. And they love me, and they took me to so many places around their families and friends, and they loved on me so much. And I thought, you know, that's how everybody should be treated. So to see that my son, people was looking at him like that, said, oh, okay, we're going to really have this problem when he gets older. And unfortunately, he did experience that at his school. At one at school, when the kids and a lot of people asked him, he told me like, Mommy, a lot of people don't want to play with me. And I said, what do you mean? He said, the black kid said, I'm not black. And then he said, when I go to the white kids, they ask me, what am I? You know, so he had to experience that a little bit, and his father and I had to talk to him about it, that you are biracial, you come from both of us. And that made me dig a little deeper about who I am and where my family came from, so I could introduce our son to, like, hey, you are half Native American. Yeah, you're European too, and you do have African American descent, but you also have Asian in you too.
Correct.
We come from so many things, and this is why you look like this. Your father's family's from German. This is why you know, sorry, mommy family's very diverse, so that we probably push it a little bit overboard and stuff. And now he gets it to the point when people ask him, he's like, oh, I'm biracial. You know, he goes, I'm mix of both worlds, and he laugh it off. But now it's like, okay, you got to educate them young, because they're going to be asked a lot of questions.
Is he starting to understand, or?
Oh yeah, he understands a lot. He goes, daddy's white, mommy is a whole bunch of other stuff.
Wow.
But, and as him now, he still, I thought he'll stick with like, I'm biracial, but he sticks more with his black side. He's like, oh, I'm black. I'm like, no, you're biracial. He's like, yeah, but I like being black more and stuff. So he likes the whole hip hop dance thing. So he gravitates more to his blackness than his white side.
Okay, so which brings me to my next question, which brings you on the show today.
Yes.
You have a few projects. You have two, with a book and a documentary.
Correct.
Which is entitled
The Secrets of How to Heal Broken Rose. That's the title of the book. And the documentary is Secret of How to Heal Broken Roses in America.
Correct. Oh, okay. So, but they both is kind of like from the same.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Correct. Okay. So,
Yes.
which brings you on the show today, and it's safe to say that you definitely have been through a few things in your life.
Oh, yes.
Experienced, obviously, racial things like that. So, you went through some healing.
Yes.
And, America definitely needs healing. People
Correct.
need healing. Women, men, children.
Oh, yes.
And I just want to say that's pretty much dope to have that coming from you to the black community in the city. We don't have nobody really kind of like doing stuff like that now, because everybody pretty much just, you know, the social media thing is kind of just taking over. So,
Yes.
Which is really dividing everybody, and it's really crazy. The book. Let's start with the book before we get into the documentary. When did you first start publishing the book? When did you first write the book?
Oh, I started writing the book when I went to college. A little bit after college, after I had my son. I wanted to heal because before my son, I mourned the loss of my daughter. Him and his father and I, we lost our daughter on Mother's Day. So to experience that, where you want a child and then that child's been taken away from you, you didn't get to hold her or anything like that. As soon as she's born, it's like, oh, you know, she passed away instantly. And mourning that, and then being pregnant again and dealing with his father having cancer, I just felt like, okay, what is going on? I was lost. So that's when I start journaling, and I start writing down, like, how do you heal? It came from me from Rose, because Rose is actually my grandmother's name, and it's my middle name.
Okay.
And I was watching something on, I believe it was YouTube, and this guy, he was like, did you know that you can take a rose or a flower and you can replant it? Like, you could cut the stem and redo it and it could come back to life. And I was like, I wonder, can we take that with our healing journey? And that's when it began, 2015.
2015 is when everything started.
Yes.
And so, can I ask, are you healed or are you still healing?
Oh my goodness. If you would have asked me that a couple months ago, I'd be like, no, because people keep bringing trauma to me now. But now, actually, yes. I'm not, my trauma does not identify me anymore. That old person is gone. Going on this journey of discover who I am, from when it came to my ancestors, understanding my mother's trauma, why she is who she is, and understanding my father's trauma and why they did to us. and their family history, and learning how to speak to my inner child, telling my inner self, hey, I do love you. If you ever felt like you weren't loved, I love you. And I apologized for anything that ever happened to you. After doing all that, I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm done. Healing is always going to be a continuous thing, because in life, we are human beings, we are spiritual creatures, and we're constantly learning, we're constantly growing, and we're going to take on to other people's trauma, other people's projection of insecurities onto us. It's up to us to separate what our feelings and what is factual, and not carry it on us, and remove ourselves from people that we feel that's toxic, or overstepping and going against our boundaries that we set for ourselves.
I like that. What could people expect out of the book? Like, what are some of the topics that you touch on in the book?
I go in deep about, okay, if you want to heal, you have to remove everything. You have to surround yourself in a positive setting. Sometimes you're going to be isolated. Sometimes you're going to have to learn how to be by yourself, and it's okay to be by yourself. Go on dates by yourself. Read a book. Take yourself out to eat. You do not need company. It's okay to have it. Don't be so codependent on there. It talks about taking spiritual baths, which I love very much, where I put certain flowers, and I love crystals and stuff. You don't have to use crystals, but about the deep understanding about self-care and self-love. And it's more than get your nails done, or guys go get a fade, or whatever that you guys do. Is more deeper into that, where you're journaling, when you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're loving every stretch marks and every flaw, imperfection that people may not like about you, but you're like, you know what? I love this about me. Can I change? Yeah, but I love the ugly. I love the good. I love that maybe I was being petty on this day, but that's part of me I need to work on. But I accept me for who I am, despite what other people may think. As long as I'm not hurting nobody or causing pain mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, I'm okay. And learning how, for women, we let a lot of men come inside of us. We allow a lot of men, and we exchange that spiritual ties and all that stuff to forgive our wound, and learning that, okay, this man we should not let inside of us. How can I forgive my wound? How can I forgive my sexual behavior and not be so, trying to disconnect from it, but accept the experience, learn from it, and really cleanse and really love myself from the inner side, so I can project healthy love towards anybody else that comes. And that's what it talks about.
So males and females can benefit from the
Yes,
the book.
yes.
And children, or
I don't recommend
Not
children.
children,
High school kids, yes.
that's probably
High
what I
school,
meant.
yes,
Yeah, okay.
yes,
Teens, I should say.
yes.
Okay,
Teenagers, of
teens,
course,
okay.
yes.
So with the book, and then derives the documentary, and that you started that when?
Oh my goodness, to be honest with you, I started that last year, 6 months in. I had it in my head. I was like, this is what I want to do this. It was just like a dream. I already knew long time ago I want to be a writer, I want to be a producer, I want to be a director. I knew all that. 6 months ago, it just hit me. It was like, I want this. This is what I want. I'm going to take it. Nobody can tell me anything. I already had like the image in my head, who I wanted, and I just went from there.
How different is the book from the documentary?
Oh, the book, it has the similarities because of poetry. I love poetry. Only thing different is, from the book, I quote people of their poets that I found that was in relation of how to heal, from taking gardening as that type of tool. The documentary, I'm using people, and I'm letting the artists tell their story, their pain, their healing, and I'm letting them letting their true art come to life as they're telling their own story.
So in the documentary, it's basically people coming forth telling their story.
Yes.
How many people can we expect on this documentary?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I mean, if it's
No, let me remember everybody's names. Courtney.
Okay.
She talks about trauma with her mother, family trauma. We have Rose. She's one of the poets, beautiful, beautiful poets. Anybody who knows Rose, she does art therapy for children. Then we had Kamanai, Ed Hennings. They talk briefly about healing and how to heal.
Shout out to Ed Hennings.
Yeah, good people, both of them. And then we have Ambre. She's a life coach. She talks about her struggle, what her family went through, and what she went through, far as being a rape victim and how she healed and how she loved, and she used a religious background. Alana, you said stuff about healing. Alana has her own Earth Angel Studios where she has Masculine Mondays for men who wants to be surrounded by men. It's the Potomac Love Brotherhood. She has Feminine Fridays where she uplift women and talk about healing, how their days and breath work and things like that. She tells her story. That's majority of everyone. I hope I'm not forgetting nobody that's in the documentary who tells their story, and they talk, they do poetry as well too.
That's lovely. Real quick, where could people find the book? I'm gonna ask you that again too at the end, but just briefly, where could people find the book and the documentary?
Right now, the documentary is on my YouTube channel. The book, you get it at Amazon. You can also find it on Barnes and Nobles or off my website, Riviera Solace Manifestation Candles and Jewelry website, or Lulu bookstores.
Lovely. Okay, so real quick, I wanted to know, because it's just on my mind, like, who are some of your idols or inspirations when it comes to writing?
I think of Angela.
Or poetry, I should say, too.
Maya Angelou. The women I look up to, that I admire of driven, ambitious, Beyonce,
Okay.
Kerry Washington. I look at Oprah. I even look at Tyler Perry. I look at how each one of them struggle for something, either being a perfectionist spirit, how to overcome that. That's Beyonce. Oprah, her family background, family trauma, how she overcame that. Even Tyler Perry with his father and how he went from being homeless and come from that background and be able to still love the person who hurt him so much and still have that giving heart with nothing but pure intentions and stuff. So yeah, the list goes on. I have a lot.
That's what's up. So diving into, because you said something about Tyler Perry, would you like to have like your own like production company or anything like that? Would you like to like do stage plays and things like that, or because having a documentary takes a lot of work. That was a lot.
Stage plays, no. But what I really want to do, and I'm going to do it, I really want to travel. And I want to live with different tribes in different countries. And I want to learn and study how they heal when it comes to either ancestry, spiritual, whatever. How do they heal? And I want to learn from their culture and their traditions and put it in mini doc series.
Have you been anywhere before? Like,
Oh no, but I'm working with one person that I was introduced 2 months ago, and he's been telling me his story of working with Amazons and certain cultures, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait. So stay tuned for that. It's something coming up. I cannot wait to touch that.
How long is the documentary?
The documentary is 54 minutes, like an hour, yeah.
Hour of knowledge and information.
Yes. And then there's going to be a part 2.
Oh.
The part 2 is with men, because when I broadcast the documentary, a lot of men had a lot of questions, and women, and a lot of men were asking, what about us? It's like, what about us? What can we do? What are the real steps of it? And when they said that, I said, you're right. I've been focusing on women. Let me bring men, because I care about the black man. I care about everybody that's dealing with any type of mental health. And I was like, okay, give me a chance. I'm coming up with something soon. And recently I've been working on a part 2 to it to add more into it. And it focuses on the men who always say, I'm fine, I'm good. But secretly they're struggling and they don't have nobody they could trust that's not going to judge them, to welcome them and say, hey, let's try these alternative methods to help you heal from whatever trauma or anything that you're afraid to embrace. And I've been connecting with a lot of people to bring this project to life. That's coming real soon.
Are the names, can you disclose any, like, tell us who you've been working with, or?
I can't disclose it because we're still working on it.
Okay.
But it's gonna be really good, and it's with licensed professionals, and we're gonna talk about religion. We're gonna discuss how religion play a key factor, especially in our community, of when it comes to healing, and how we always want to pray it away. And that if you pray it away, you believe in God so much that you can overcome mental health and things like that. So we're going to touch points on religion, Western medicine, holistic, spirituality, having a relationship with God, or just learning different religion, and how can you be in all that instead of being confirmed in this box that we were taught as children that this is where we should go, and this will help us overcome anything, which is not actually true.
That's definitely
so
true.
I'm gonna touch base in all that. Yeah,
that's lovely. And there's no part 2 for the book. It's just the documentary.
I don't have a part 2 for a book. I just finished my second book. It's called Dear Diary, I'm Dating God. And that book is basically me on a journey of self-love. And no matter what relationship I go through, I'm just like, I'm learning from it, I'm experiencing it. But my true love is God. He provides in everything for me. And it's also my son. I've been searching for unconditional love, and I found it in God, and I found it in my child, and I found it within myself. So therefore, since I love myself so much, I'm able to project good love to others without any expectations or anything from other people. Yeah.
Beautiful. When can we expect that?
I will be releasing that in 2 months.
Oh, okay.
It's done.
You've been
I
working.
just gotta put it out there.
You've been working. Okay.
I have to. It's like it's all in here, and I just want to get it out.
That's what's up. So the documentary is on your website and YouTube, via YouTube. The book is also on your website.
Yes.
And one more time for the people, the name is, both names.
The documentary is The Secrets of How to Heal a Broken Rose in America. And the book is The Secret of How to Heal a Broken Rose. Yeah.
Why did you choose to name one America and one just Broken Rose?
The one of a broken rose is because I was the broken rose for the book. I was experimenting with myself of how to heal, to see if this really works. And I discover with the book, it does work. I met with a spiritual healer, Ava. She really helped me with spiritual bath, how to be more disciplined, how to control your emotions, how to control your tongue, and how whatever you speak, you give it life. And no matter what negative attacks come from the world or from anybody, even close family members or your partner, bite your tongue and learn how to be disciplined, that you won't overreact. You know, don't focus on what others do, focus on yourself. So that's where the book came, because I was that broken rose for that. The documentary was all the roses in America that are experiencing that type of trauma, if it's either with a relationship, domestic violence, or family trauma, being a rape victim where your uncle, or even men who've been molested by a babysitter, and they think it's okay because they're a guy and they're just 10 years old and it's a cool thing, like high five, she did this to you, to let them know, no, that was not okay, you were a child. And men do experience rape or molestation at a young age too, and it's okay to talk about it. So it was about everybody in America who experienced some type of that form that they could relate to and get help.
Beautiful, beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. I had one question I wanted to ask you.
Go ahead.
No,
we go into deep, whatever you want to talk about.
No,
we
you
talk
had
about
you had caught me off guard because I was
generation, curses,
I
patterns.
think it was about the healing. What steps can you give people like just like I don't know, like 1 through 5, maybe 1 through 3. Like, what are some good home remedy steps of healing that you can give people? Like,
Sure. 1, be honest with yourself. Look in the mirror and be honest and pour into yourself. That's either self-affirmation, but really live by it. If you're going to say, I am this, I am that, become that and have grace for yourself. So 2 is have grace for yourself and be kind to yourself as well. 3, meditate. Before you go to work, school, even when you come home and you're dealing with a whole bunch of kids, your partner, try to meditate at least for a minute and breathe in and breathe out and think of something positive that gets you in good spirits so you could transition. 4, transitioning. Know that you have to transition from being in the work life and then being home. When you get home, you have to transition to being a wife or being a mother or being a girlfriend. We have to separate the two because we always carry those burdens from the world onto our relationship, and that's why we always have conflict. 5, just love yourself and love others, and it's okay to go against what society or what they want from you. You are not what they expect to be. Be what you expect to be.
Beautiful, beautiful. What would you like the people to just gain from the documentary, just watching your documentary or reading your books? What would you like the people just to gain from that?
Know that they're not alone. We all are dealing with some type of trauma that we're all looking for answers and guidance to help heal from. It takes time. And know that if you do need help, there are resources out there. And if it's therapy, if it's some type of medication that your doctor could prescribe for you, or even in your community, there are places out there, especially in Milwaukee, Earth Angel Studios, Common Eye, Ed Henny's. There's a lot of people out there that really want to help and that's serving good for the community and helping people with mental health.
Beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. The one and only lovely Riviera Rose. Documentary out now, correct?
Yes.
And book, and you're finishing up the second book, so we're waiting on that in about 2 months.
Yeah.
So we're going to be waiting on that. We'll put the links in the description down below. Just let the people know where they can find you at, because I'm pretty sure they're going to want to tap in and try to find this information.
Anybody want to find me, you will see me literally with Alana. If I'm not with her at Earth Angel Studios, you will see me like on, I'm going back to my podcast where I'll be talking a lot and going over, but it's going to be different. I'm going to provide healthy treats and how to eat healthy, drink the right tea.
Okay.
So follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Riviera Rose Lambert. And if you want to connect with me one-on-one, just, message me. And I'm there. I'm very available.
Thank you for coming on Juice Talk TV, Riviera. I will put the links in the description. Make sure y'all tap in, get that book, watch that documentary, and just get up with her with all the healing and health information that we can. Much love and respect. Thanks for coming on Juice Talk TV. Hopefully have you again too for that second one, for that second book.
Sure, anytime.
Juice Talk TV, we out.
I just want to be free. I just want to be free. I just want to be free.
Hello, my name is Courtney Francois. I live here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I am here to tell my story of domestic violence, family violence, violence, and trauma.
But you know that it's fake, it's too late. Ain't no looking back. Boy, I've been the truth. Better check your stats. 12 pulling over. One question with a weapon that. But you know that boy got bars like where they booked him at. Navy, but it's still my game. You know I'm ripping that. Roll it 6 times 10. Where your section at? Can't roll around my hood without protection, Jack. Treat them like they Haitian Jack. Take a loss, get it back. You know how to like Quantico. See my truth, they had to jump in. Like Geronimo, if he ain't trying to bye-bye, his mama knows I gotta go.
You made it out of that. And with the power of your mind and the power of healing, you can take away the discomfort that sometimes we think that we need to experience, the pain that we need to experience. Pain, that's a human construct. Your spirit, your soul doesn't want you to have all that discomfort, especially when it's unnecessary.
I'm just trying to live. It's a difference. I just want to be me. Time to break all them chains.